of light and blessings, shamanic our priestess here, and these are the top 6 decks of non-tarot decks of 2020. So this would include oracle decks and miscellaneous forms of divination. So top 6, my most used working decks. I want to first start with one of my oldest. This is actually a second copy. My original copy was old and very much unusable, so I ended up replacing it with this second copy. And it's the Ask Your Guides by Sonia Coquette. So it's Ask Your Guides Oracle deck. And I love this deck. It has both shadow cards, so darker cards, and things like that. It is not your typical affirmation deck. I love the artwork. I love the borders. I do a lot of color therapy, color healing, readings for myself, readings for clients, and things like that. This deck is beautiful. If I am going to use an oracle deck, I usually use this one or the other decks, or the Psychic Oracle, and then a couple of other oracle decks that I'll talk about in the future of this video. But I literally love this deck so much. It's a great deck. I feel like it just gives really deep spiritual readings. Every time I've used it, I've done chakra readings with this. I've done past life readings with this. I mean, I've done so many different types. Regular yes, no questions. It's a an oracle deck that I use for all types of readings. Those are the types of oracle decks that call to me, the ones that you can use for like any type of reading. And when I first saw this deck, I actually a reader read me with it, and I loved it, and I ended up finding it on Amazon and purchasing it. Like I said, it has like this card, loss. To me, this is a very throat chakra type of energy, and this person or this individual looks like they're lost, and maybe they're having trouble expressing that feeling of loss. There's water in the bottom. They're drowning in their emotions. So it's a very good intuitive deck for me. I get very deep messages from it. These feel like non-human entities and depicted in the drawings, which I love. They look non-binary. I love it because I feel like literally I am connecting to a higher energy every time I read with this deck. So I completely love it. I've been having it since I first got into oracle decks, for many years, and things like that. Anywhere from 6 to 8 years is when I first got the first copy of this deck, and I have not stopped using it. I completely love it. It is definitely a forever deck for me. It's a great deck when I'm going through like darker periods, when I'm really depressed, even when it's a negative messages. It just does something for me. It's a great deck for doing inner work. I've never read the guidebook for any of my oracle decks. I literally read them intuitively. And this is your Ask Your Guides Oracle. I'll show you this last card. So yes, love it, love it, love it, love it. The next deck I'm going to talk about. Okay, I thought I stopped the video. Sorry about that. Oh, these are the backs of the deck. I like the backs. It looks like those old like pictures in the hotels or like in a therapist's office. They're supposed to make you relax. That's what it looks like to me. I like it. So, next oracle I'm going to talk about is the Energy Oracle. These are the back of the cards. This is another deck that I've been having since I started reading professionally, maybe anywhere from 6 to 8. Well, this one I think I have 7 years, and then this one too. Something like that, or maybe the whole 8 years. I don't remember, but definitely been having it since the beginning of my journey for professional reading. So anywhere from 6 to 8 years ago, I bought my first copy of this. This is also a second copy because my first copy, the actual lamination was peeling off. and the cards are divided, broken, and unshuffleable. But I completely love this deck. I use it for my professional readings. I've used it to read for myself. I've never read the guidebook for it either. This is the type of deck that I was able to connect with, just getting it out of the box and doing readings with it. I get really deep spiritual readings. I've done past life readings with this deck, regular general questions, energetic readings, just a lot of great readings with this deck. Speaks to me in a very high level. There's chakra cards in this one. So I'll do like chakra work with this as well. Just a bunch of things. It has angels. I love angels, and I do connect angelic energies with the chakra system as well. So I completely love this deck. It's very balanced, so it has the positive cards, it has, you know, some negative cards, and those are the type, again, of oracle decks that I like. They're more like tarot in the sense that they're, you know, more balanced with the type of depictions and things that they have. You know, I just don't resonate with affirmation decks and everything's positive. It's just something that does not call to me. So I'm very picky with oracle. And I've heard a lot of people say that they buy more oracle decks than tarot decks. In the beginning, that was true for me. Not so much anymore. I used to really connect with oracle, and then I just don't anymore. So, you know, everybody's spiritual paths evolves. We all change, and our taste may change. So, I love the artwork. I love the art style. There's nothing about the deck I don't love. So, and this is the Energy Oracle deck, and like I said, I love it. Okay, the next deck I'm going to talk about. I don't use it as much as the Psychic Oracle, but this is the Psychic Tarot of the Heart. This is the backs. I do use these also for professional readings. These are supposed to be for romance, but I find that they can work well for me for past life readings, readings with chakras and energies and blockages. So any of my specialized readings, and if I am going to use an oracle deck, it might be this one that I use as well. Just, you know, maybe a 1, 2, or 3 cards that I'll pull. But again, my professional readings are mostly using tarot, but there are readings that I use oracle and things like that. So more so use oracle with my specialized readings along with tarot. So I love this. I love the green borders, so like a very nice heart chakra energy. So I find this deck really good for working through the chakras, or reading about any type of energetic blocks, past life blocks, things like that. So I find this deck very deep. I love it. I really love it. Nothing I don't love about this deck. I've been having this deck almost as long as I've been reading professionally. I do use the Psychic Oracle more than this one, but I do use this one when I feel called to it. So yes, and that's the Psychic Tarot of the Heart. The fourth oracle deck I'm going to talk about, okay, is your Chakra Insight Oracle cards by Karen Sangster. This deck is a working deck, even though I only use it for myself. I love it because it is the deck that I use as my 1-card pull on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. It is a deck that I'm always showing on my favorites. I always show like a card of the chakra that I've been working with, because it's literally a deck that I've bought that I have never put down. I do a lot of chakra work for myself. So it's definitely a working deck, because it is the only oracle deck that I consult on a consistent basis. Okay, I don't even consult tarot as much as I consult this deck. Like, I do a lot of readings for myself with this deck. I have never used it for clients. I do chakra readings with the Psychic Tarot of the Heart, the Psychic Oracle, or just regular tarot. But this deck, or ask your guides. But this deck specifically, I use it to work for myself, and I love it. I love it. I love this chakra deck so much. It's a great deck. So this is the backs. I've never read the guidebook for this one either. I just read this one intuitively. I journal with it. I pull a card once a week or every 2 weeks to see which is the chakra that I need to work with the most, and I'll light an incense. I'll use the oils that corresponds with the chakra, and I do a lot of healing work on myself, meditation, all based around the card pull that I did with that deck. This is the Gypsy Oracle deck. These are the backs, and this is a deck that I use a lot for client reads as well. Again, I use mostly tarot when I read professionally. However, I do find myself using this deck when I feel called to use it. It's a great reader for me. I am not familiar with, like, I'm studying it, yes. And I have a guidebook that I bought, but to be honest, this deck, I took it out the box, and I just get really powerful messages intuitively. In the same way that I connected with tarot, like I have my own meanings for the cards, and clients just keep saying how accurate my readings are. So definitely a deck that I read psychically as well. It just speaks to me, this deck, in the same way that tarot speaks to me. So I really, really love using it. It's very well balanced because you have your darker energy types of cards, as well as your more positive types of cards, okay? And that is the Gypsy Oracle. Not crazy about the name, like I said, but it is a wonderful, wonderful deck. I love it. Love it, love it. And number 6, last but not least, I didn't get all the cards out. Sorry about that. Last but not least is the Kipper Oracle cards. These are the backs. I think they're gorgeousness, and I love this. I did buy a guidebook. Same thing, very intuitive for me. Something about the artwork. It looks like old photos. I love working with this deck. It gives very powerful readings. I have been known to use this also in my readings, alongside tarot, and things. I don't use this one as much as the other ones, and I also use it a lot for like personal readings. And even though I have the book and I'm studying the system, I do read with it intuitively. I do read with it psychically. The deck just really, really speaks to me. So, and this is the Kipper Oracle deck by Alex Munsruck or Munsbuck. Sorry if I butchered that. But yes, very great reader. So those are my top 6 Oracle / miscellaneous divination systems of 2020. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Until the next video. Bye.